So I thought this morning I would show you some of the equipment that I use in my studio. So we start off with my iMac, which is I couldn't not work without this. I've always been a Mac person. I've used Macs since, oh gosh, 1987. That's a long time. Love Macs, and I've also got a MacBook Pro as well, which I use in the other room, so I kind of go between the two. So I've got my Mac. I've got all sorts of hard drives. So I've got here this one, I think is a 10 terabyte. This one I think is a 5 terabyte. This one here is a, oh gosh, it's a bit dusty, isn't it? Let's dust that. This one here is a RAID system, so it works with a Thunderbolt connection, so it's like having another hard drive. Everything's really speedy on it, like really speedy. So it's just so easy to kind of copy really large files, you know, directly onto a drive rather than onto my hard drive. So that's a piece of equipment, I have to say, I don't think I could do without. I don't think I could do without this at all. All of the hard drives are kind of in these little sort of windows in here, these little doors. And it's not, I just couldn't live without that because it's so quick. You know, and my video files are like, you know, one video file is like 13 gigabytes, and I might have, I don't know, 50 files in a tutorial. So that is this is a piece of kit that honestly I could not live without. What else have I got on here? I've got my sharpener there. I've got my electric sharpener there. I've got my scanner here, which actually I don't use very often, I have to say. I don't do prints anymore, so I don't really scan my work, you know, so it's not, I mean, it's a good little scanner. It is a good little scanner. It's the Epson Perfection V600 photos. It's you know, but I don't tend to use it anymore. And then I've got this like ring light thing here, which is not doing its job because it's not lit up. But that again is pretty good for when I'm doing like an Instagram live stream or something like that. And then I move over to my drawing board. I have my Rode microphone here. Yeah, so I have my Rode microphone here, and it's like on this sort of shock mount thing, and it's also attached to this boom arm that's up here. So what I can do is I can actually swing it, oops, sort of swing it around, so I can put it, if I want to speak from my Mac, I can speak from over there. If I want to speak from my drawing board, I can speak from over there. So that's quite a useful piece of kit. It's a USB microphone, so it plugs into my Mac. It's not sort of standalone, but it gives a bit better sound. The sound in this room still isn't great because I don't have any, you know, soundproofing or anything like that. I am looking into a soundproof booth, however it's not going to make for a very nice working environment to be all enclosed, so I might just have to put up with what I've got. I've got my soft boxes up here, so I've got two soft boxes here. I've got another soft box over there where I take the photography and everything. I've got my camera set up here. So this is the Sony Ax53 little camera. It's quite cool because you've got the points down and then you've got the little viewfinder in here, which is quite cool. It's got this is the battery, so I don't have to keep changing the battery. When I bought it, I bought tons and tons of batteries, but actually I just have it plugged in all of the time, and that's fine. This is the Manfrotto Superclamp that it's attached to here, and then it's got this little sort of movable ball head that I can sort of twiddle around, and I can move my camera up and down and round and round. So that's that. I also use the CamLink. So this is part of the CamLink. This is the HDMI cable that just sort of slots into, slots into here. There's so many flipping wires, it's unbelievable. That slots into there, and that means that I can use my camera as a webcam. So when I'm doing my live streams or anything like that, I can just record what's on my drawing board and just put it straight onto my computer. And then I have so if I'm recording onto my camera, I use these AV cables. So one goes into my microphone and one goes into the camera, and they're called, I think they're a double male. I think this is a male head that this has got on. I think that's what they call them. So they're exactly the same. So one plugs into the microphone, one plugs into the camera, and then I can use the microphone to record onto the camera. I record onto SD card, which is kind of in there. So that's the SD card that I record onto. And then I just whip that out and put it into my computer and copy the files across, and then I edit them. I have this cool little thing here, which is actually a car phone holder, whatever you call it. So I have my iPhone in here, and I can have it playing Netflix or whatever when I'm not recording. It's pretty good, and you can sort of, you know, spin it round and everything, which is quite nice. And it's just sat at a good height on my drawing board. I've got my iPad, and that is on a gooseneck. You can see back there, it's on a gooseneck, so it's attached to the back of my drawing board, and then I can move it around, I can spin it, all of that kind of stuff, so that's quite useful. What else have I got? This is what I've got on my drawing board at the moment. Oops. This is the drawing I'm doing at the minute. Show you a little bit of a close-up, which is quite an interesting piece that I'm doing. Recording parts of it, but not all of it. Move that glassine paper away. And I use, so these little magnets I use an awful lot. They are really, really strong magnets, like really strong magnets. And I use one, maybe you can see, one on the back of the drawing board and one on the front, and I just move them around, pop them over the top of whatever I'm drawing. And it's really useful when I'm using something like pastel mat board, because it just holds it down and it doesn't move. I always found with pastel mat board I used to stick it down or tape it down, and it just wasn't strong enough really, and it just used to ping back up again. So that's basically it. I've got these little sort of bamboo tubs as well. I've got all sorts on here. This is sort of like my work in progress little trolley. So I have mugs with pencils in, the cotton buds. These are actually used for blending, so don't be feeling disgusted by them. So I've got all sorts, yeah, lots of little cups with, those are the toucan colours in that cup. These are the colours that I'm using for the little girl that I'm drawing. And then I've got all sorts of other things going on in here as well. My putty eraser, which I need to move because Nelly keeps eating it, so I need to put that back in its case. And then, yeah, cotton buds here that I use quite a lot when I'm blending. So, and my drawing glasses, special glasses, and my little drawing hat. Special hat. It's not a special hat at all, it's just a visor, but it means, because I've got my lights behind me, it means that the light shines in my eyes, so wearing a visor means that I can actually see the values and everything. So that's pretty much it really. It's quite early in the morning, which is why my voice has gone a bit weird, but those are the things that I use most often. Oh, I've got my printer as well. So printer here, it's the Epson XP900. Don't use it very often, I have to say. It's not a bad printer, it's A3. You know, what I've been doing recently is I've actually been printing off line arts onto hot press paper, if we've been drawing on hot press paper, and then just drawing straight over the top of the printed line, which has worked quite nicely actually. Good for me, because I don't like to draw my line arts out, so that's worked really well. But that's about it really. My grubby desk there with all of the bits and pieces, those little things on the top there, some of you will be like, what on earth, Bonnie? But so I have there's a rose quartz angel there, which is from one of my lovely members in the US. So KCAT, thank you very much. I have it there all of the time. I've got these little tiny angels in there, which I really love. I've got a bit of, I've got a lovely tiger's eye hair. And then I've got this heart, which I can't remember the name of it, what crystal it is, but I really like, what I tend to do is if I've got some long calls, I tend to sort of just sit and just sort of feel it. And it's quite nice just to be sort of sitting and holding on to something. It's I quite like it. So, and the same with the little hair as well. So they just sit there on top of my RAID system. But that's kind of about it really. I've got my mixed tiles up there on the wall there, and then I've got my mixed tiles over there as well at the side of the studio there, my little chair, and I've got that big plant in the corner just to sort of hide. I've got a really big sort of storage area, and it can look really messy, and it's what's behind me when I'm doing my zooms. So I've just bought that massive plant. It's still got the box outside. I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but yeah, just got that massive plant to hide that corner, and the lovely mixed tiles in there, which I really like. And then I've got some lavender there and my lovely little chair. So yeah, and then the obligatory dog beds everywhere, dog beds all over the floor. So yeah, that's some of the stuff in my studio that I just couldn't do without really.